Let's get one thing straight right now. Hollywood has lied to you. Video games have lied to you. Pop culture has built a massive multi-billion-dollar illusion about the past. If you were suddenly dropped into the year 1340, you wouldn't be a hero. You wouldn't be an adventurer. You would be prey. And your biggest enemy wouldn't be a knight in armor. It would be your own body. Imagine it. It's night. You are freezing. The rain has turned the earth into a thick, sucking mud that grips your ankles. Your clothes are soaked, pulling your shoulders down with the weight of freezing water. You've been walking for hours. And then, you see it. A light. A tavern. Salvation, right? Wrong. Pushing open that door is the worst mistake you could possibly make. Because stepping into a medieval tavern isn't a step into comfort. It is a step into a biological, psychological, and social war zone. A war zone that your modern, pampered, 21st century immune system has absolutely zero defense against. Welcome to your final 12 hours. The moment you open the door, you don't see the room. You feel it.
Without a chimney,
and it hits you directly in the lungs. There are no romantic stone fireplaces here. Chimneys are a luxury this place can't afford. Instead, there is just a fire pit, a literal hole in the middle of the dirt floor. When the wind outside shifts, the smoke doesn't go out the tiny hole in the roof. It gets pushed back down. It fills the room in a toxic gray fog. Within 30 seconds, your eyes are burning so badly they are streaming with tears. You try to take a breath, and you choke. But the smoke is actually doing you a favor, because it's hiding the smell. You live in a world of deodorant, daily showers, and artificial fragrances. Your nose has never experienced the true, unadulterated stench of the 14th century. It is a physical wall of odor, rendered animal fat, years of spilled rotting ale baked into the wood, the heavy, sharp musk of wet wool, and the sweat of a dozen men who haven't touched clean water in months. You stumble to the counter. The tavern keeper looks at you. He doesn't smile. He is running a calculation in his head. Do you have money? What do you want? And are you going to cause a problem? You need to answer him quickly, because in this room, hesitation looks like weakness. And weakness attracts predators. You ask for food. And this is where your modern biology starts to fail you. There is no menu. There is no refrigeration. There are no health inspectors. What goes into the pot is whatever died, was picked, or was traded that exact day. And tonight, you are getting bone broth. But not the trendy kind you buy at a modern cafe. This is a sludge made of pig or chicken bones, boiled for hours with bitter roots. Beside it is bread. But you can't bite it. If you try, you will break a tooth. This bread was baked weeks ago. It was intentionally made hard as a rock so it wouldn't rot. To eat it, you have to soak it in the boiling fat of the broth until it turns to mush. Tastes incredibly strong, overwhelmingly seasoned with garlic and sage. But the medieval cook didn't do this to be fancy. They did it because those herbs are the only things covering up the taste of meat that is teetering on the edge of severe putrefaction. You chew, you swallow. In doing so, you have just introduced bacteria into your stomach that your body has literally never seen before. But you're thirsty. You ask for water. The tavern keeper laughs. Drinking water in a medieval tavern is a game of Russian roulette, where 5 of the chambers are loaded. The wells are dug dangerously close to the cesspits. Human waste leaches directly into the drinking supply. If you, a modern human, take a single sip of that water, dysentery isn't a possibility. It is a guarantee. So you are given small ale. It's cloudy, it's sour, it's barely alcoholic. But you have to drink it, because the fermentation process killed the bacteria that the water carried. You aren't drinking to get drunk. You are drinking a crude, desperate form of medicine just to survive the night. Your stomach is churning, but you can't show it, because now you have to navigate the most dangerous part of the tavern, the people. Modern society has rules. We have police. We have a shared understanding of personal space. None of that exists here. The tavern is one of the only places on earth where the rigid social classes of the Middle Ages smash together in one tiny, claustrophobic room. A desperate peasant is sitting 3 feet away from a merchant carrying a bag of silver. A discharged, traumatized mercenary is drinking next to a local farmer. And you are the stranger. No one asks your name out of politeness. If they ask where you are from, they are trying to figure out if you have a bounty on your head, if you owe money, or if you have a powerful lord protecting you. If the answer is no, you are a target. Historians looking at medieval court records have found something terrifying. A massive percentage of murders and violent assaults in the Middle Ages started exactly here, in taverns. Why? Because you have exhausted men, drinking fermented liquid, packed into a dark room with sharp knives at their belts. A single misunderstood joke, a wrong glance at a man's boots, a comment about the local lord. That is all it takes. If a fight breaks out, there are no bouncers. There are no cameras. If you get stabbed in the gut in the confusion, the medicine of the era dictates that they will pack your wound with moss and pray. You have to keep your head down, keep your hands on the table, make yourself invisible. You just need to sleep. You ask for a room? The tavern keeper looks confused. There are no rooms. The concept of privacy has not been invented yet. You are led to an upper floor, or maybe just a corner of the main room blocked by a curtain. On the floor is a pile of straw. That is your bed. And you aren't sleeping alone. You are expected to lie down shoulder to shoulder with 3 or 4 complete strangers. You lie down. The straw cuts into your skin, and within minutes you feel it. The itch. The straw is a breeding ground. Fleas, lice, bed bugs. Your modern immune system, protected by vaccines and antibiotics, is suddenly bombarded by vectors of disease that wiped out half of Europe. But the bugs aren't what keeps you awake. It's the man next to you. You are holding your boots and your bag tightly against your chest. Why? Because if you let them go, they will be gone by morning. Poverty in the Middle Ages isn't just a lack of luxury. It is a desperate, clawing need to survive. A good pair of boots is worth risking a man's life for. You lie awake, listening to the heavy breathing of strangers, realizing that closing your eyes might be the last thing you ever do. You make it to morning. You are exhausted. Your bones ache. Your skin is bitten. Your stomach is in agony. But as you walk out of the tavern into the freezing morning mud, a massive, perspective-shattering realization hits you. Why would you beg to return to the modern world? It's not just about the iPhone in your pocket. It's not about comfortable mattresses or streaming services. You would beg for the modern world because of one single word: predictability. You and I live in an era where we have conquered the unknown. When you turn on a tap, you are absolutely certain the water won't kill you. When you buy a loaf of bread, you are certain it isn't rotting. When you go to sleep, you are certain you will wake up in the morning. The people of the Middle Ages didn't have that. They lived in a constant state of biological and social roulette. Every meal, every drink, every night spent on the road was a gamble with death. They weren't primitive. They were incredibly adaptable survivors, utilizing every ounce of knowledge they had just to keep the human race going. So, the next time you wake up at 2 a.m., walk to your brightly lit refrigerator and pour yourself a glass of clean, cold, purified water. Remember the bone-chilling smoke. Remember the rock-hard bread. And remember that the comfort you take for granted every single day is the greatest luxury in the history of human existence. If this video completely changed how you view history, hit that subscribe button. And I want to know in the comments below, which part of the medieval tavern would break you first? The food, the bugs, or the people? Let me know, and I might feature your answer in the next video. Until then, be grateful for your mattress.